Some people get the idea from a general biology textbook maybe used in high school that it is easy to split the higher animals into the protostomes, in which the mouth develops from the first embryonic opening, the blastopore, and the deuterostomes, in which group the mouth develops from a second opening and the original opening becomes the anus. It's more complicated than that. While that certainly applies to some deuterostomes, like hemichordates and echinoderms, in the chordates, and this would include the vertebrates, which are chordates, the anus will develop from a different opening than the blastopore. It's also complicated because some invertebrates, which are called protostomes, actually have the deuterostome style of development. One of the lessons from this is that in taxonomy one needs to consider a whole set of anatomical and genetic traits, and one trait only, like the mouth opening, might not be sufficient for an accurate classification, given that lineages can then change the ancestral features over time. Hemichordates, like the acorn worms in these images, are deuterostomes, but they are not chordates. They have features which link them to the chordates and the vertebrates, like a pharynx with slits, but they lack a notochord, a post-anal tail, and some lack a dorsal nerve cord. So hemichordates are deuterostomes, but they are not chordates. Sea squirts are classified as true chordates and a subgroup known as urochordates. The adults have soft cylindrical bodies which filter feed, but they do possess pharyngeal arches, as can be seen here. But the larval stages also possess the notochord, which is a diagnostic feature of the chordates. So sea squirts or tunicates, these are true chordates and a subgroup known as urochordates. Landslits are invertebrates which are classified as true chordates in a subgroup known as cephalochordates. In these images, you can see the features which link them to vertebrates like fish, the possession of the notochord, which they use to swim in an S-shaped pattern, the pharyngeal slits, which now function as gills, the hollow dorsal nerve cord along their back, the post-anal tail, and there are other features as well, such as a homologue of a liver and a thyroid gland. While urochordates and cephalochordates are both recognized as being closely related to the vertebrates, which of the two groups is the best model for the closest vertebrate relative has been debated, and it depends on which anatomical feature you might be looking at. So, the presence of a heart or the NK cells of the immune system would favor the urochordates, for example. So there is no consensus as to which of these two groups of chordates is most closely related to fish.